So, you just dropped the bomb to Leonard. Leonard told you you'd been gone about 3 weeks. You told him about what you had found so far, and he seems a little on edge by that. And then you asked him what negative was, and he quickly and promptly denied if he had any knowledge on that. Also, Flix has returned to the party.
Yes.
Yay.
Don't worry, best buddy, I haven't forgot about you.
I'm just looking at, all I see is Rose's icon. Just looking over that direction.
It worked so well. Rose will forever be my Geralt.
But yeah. So you told Leonard about what you saw, and he's confirmed that there is no more wild magic, at least in fire, but he has told you that things in the planes have gotten worse. There have been more anomalies in other planes, except he doesn't know anything about matter and null because their respective lords tend to be very secretive.
Leonard,
Yes?
it's likely that if you are finished with us, we'll be heading elsewhere.
You know, kind of nod his head and's like, thank you for your help, though. I honestly don't know how I can thank you for what you've done, at least for the plane of fire. But if you require anything, I am happily in your debt.
Oh wait, who had the armor of the previous angel being that died in the negative maze?
I don't know, who has it? Who has it? I think Rose has the sword.
Yeah, that's true. Rose will actually at this point go ahead and also pull from their belongings the elite guard sword they found.
Mm-hmm. Leonard looks surprised at this. It's like, where did you find that?
And the aforementioned maze of nightmares that Various brought up.
I see. Yeah, that was without a doubt one of my own elite guards. I had sent them some time ago to investigate disappearances and the anomaly, but they never returned.
Bryce will pipe up and say, yeah, we, in the nightmare areas, everyone is saying there was quite a bit of coffins, and sorry to say, they were found in one of them.
That's disheartening.
I would suggest that if you happen to have more issues, you send a larger group.
I did send a large group of 10 of them.
And we're the first ones to make it back.
Yes. The first one's alive, that is.
People made it back dead.
Well, no one's actually returned, aside from you. So I'd assume that they are dead.
Say no more, Leonard. I will take it upon myself to lead this valiant group of explorers for you.
Done quite well on our own, thank you, Flix. You don't have to worry about that.
It's no trouble at all.
We also had their armor. If that's something you'd like back, or
If you're willing to give the armor and sword back to me, I can see to it that they are given proper use and a proper memorial. But I will not force you to give it over. They are powerful items in them themselves. They're about a standard issue for my guards, and if you feel that they may help you, then please by all means. But if not, I will take them for a memorial.
Honestly, Rose, it sounds like he's asking you to wear it.
if this sword is... I mean, if the sword...
If you decide to give them up, I will allow you to choose something from my own collection, if possible. But that's up to you.
I'll tell you this at least. I'll make sure that this sword strikes down those who will desecrate this land and the rest of the plains.
That's all I could really ask, honestly.
Flix is writing all of this down profusely right now.
Oh god. Does he have an overly
Yes,
large?
in fact.
Does he have an overly large feathered pen?
Of course.
Of course he does.
God damn it.
Probably shimmers a little bit too.
Yes.
Is he writing it in glitter?
Like a glitter pen!
Yeah, I was thinking a glitter gel pen.
Oh my god, I can see that.
I mean, the only thing would be more appropriate to this is if Flix was jotting everything down to a trapper keeper.
But if you'd like to keep the armor, that's up to you. But go ahead and keep the sword. Though I don't know if you have any use for armor of that sort, of that kind, really. But
It would be useful, but I'm more worried about the representation.
how
Of-
so?
They want
Well-
to make sure that it doesn't look like we killed somebody.
Or bring a bad name, or possibly draw bad attention to someone as yourself.
What are
The
you planning on doing
only
while wearing that?
the only place I could think of that possibly having problems is in the plane of water. But I think you can understand why.
Right now.
Well, if somebody wants to return it, they can. Otherwise, I would not mind borrowing it.
I mean, it is made from pure red dragon scales, so it is kind of valuable. I mean, again, if it's causing you that much problem, I will take it for. I'll either place it for a memorial for those who had fallen, or I'll see it redistributed to another guard.
Rose, wasn't there something else we found? Some kind of crown? Some robes?
Not now, Tibbs.
No, seriously, isn't this something that you should bring to Leonard's attention? Maybe he can fix them for you.
Fix what now?
Rose reluctantly...
Afraid-
What?
Rose
Sorry,
will...
continue.
Yeah, Rose will reluctantly also log out the crown and tattered robes as well.
Leonard kind of looks over them. It's like, I'm no tailor, I'm afraid. So you'd have to find a tailor or a jewel crafter to do that.
Supposedly, these once harbored pretty potent fey magic, but as you can tell, they fared just about as well as their masters did.
If they were imbued with fey magic, you'd have to take it to an enchanter down in the Feydark Commons.
Why'd I have a feeling you would say that?
Sorry?
Microphone.
I mean, if it had been an elemental craft, I would have probably sent you to one of my own, but that's beyond my ken, I'm afraid.
What was that for?
Hmm?
Talking to Freya's.
Oh.
She pinched Tiberius's ear.
She's just going to say, sometimes you need to take a hint. And know
I'm
when
sorry,
to
are
be
you
quiet.
coming on to me?
She's just going to look at Flix and be like, is he like this all the time?
It's adorable. He thinks he's handsome.
Flix is just bringing that fire.
Just, I wasn't aware we were playing, Flick Savage tonight.
I knew we were in the fire plane, but whew, calm it down.
Leveled up.
been doing? They've been sharpening their wit.
Yes.
He did level up while he was out, so it's the same level as you guys.
But I guess that being said, since we did preempt the mention of the former guard's gear, then would the guard's trainer be happen to be around as well right now?
He is. Metatron is around here somewhere.
Hmm. If you
We'll
could,
have to check the barracks, although that we might be on patrol.
maybe I wanted to try to put in a word with him if he has time.
I'd say check the barracks, or if he's not there, then I'm afraid he might be out on patrol.
Mm.
Would you be able to give us a lead on where the most egregious source of this wild magic is?
Pardon?
Would you be able to give us a lead as to where the most egregious source of this wild magic is so that we can plan our next move? Obviously, we're not going to go home until this is taken care of, and
Well,
have that.
I only know about what's been happening here. I know there's been disturbances in the other planes, but you'll have to go there and find out for yourself.
With your blessing, of course, right?
My word means nothing elsewhere. I'm afraid that, yes, perhaps my word might hold some weight in the Foundry, and of course here, but everywhere else, I'm afraid not. Everywhere else is another lord's domain. Some are far less trusting than I am. Some even so to the point, well, they would just look at an outsider and just try to kill them.
Just out of morbid curiosity, is Wind like that?
I would say no. Wind is probably one of the friendlier planes and one that most outsiders flock to.
Various looks over with a smug look.
Just don't fall off.
What?
Everything.
But there are no reasons.
I'm sure if you ever head there, you will see what I mean. Should your travels bring you there.
Oh, well, I do suppose as well, while I've been having here chatting, just trying to get us a little more comfortable here, then maybe some substance would be in order as well for us.
Is that so? If there's anything I can do to help, just let me know.
Yeah, perhaps some water for our visitors as well, then.
Leonard kind of pauses and stares at you for a few seconds. Almost like he's trying to give that look of, did you really just ask for water in the plane of fire?
Various cheers up. Any sort of hydration for an outsider would be nice.
He kind of scratches his head and it's like, I mean, we have fire water, but that's alcoholic. That would only cause worse conditions with you. And I don't think you can drink liquid magma.
No, we really can't.
I would say your best bet would be to head back to the Foundry. You might be able to find something there, but when it comes down to outsiders and liquids here, they're not too kind, I'm afraid.
Understood.
I'm sorry.
No, it's understandable. I just had my hopes up.
And we could always drop by aunties.
We really should be pressing onwards.
Well, I'm sure you can find a stand or two in the inner ring of the Foundry, probably a vendor. They probably might sell some juices or the like.
Just, Leonard, out of curiosity, you wouldn't mind sending Rose with us, would you? Big smile.
Well, I figured he would be
Oh
sticking
yes,
with us for now.
please.
Well, I don't see why not. He seems to get along well with all of you.
Perfect news.
For the record, I was still going to tag along, even if Leonard said otherwise.
I don't like forcing people to do things against their will, unlike some lords.
Yeah, and right now, our enemies are trying to force their will on all of us. So I see it stands to reason.
Natara's machine just crashed somehow. She'll be right back.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez. Oh no!
It's okay, we've got an SSD. She'll be back up in like a minute.
No problem.
It may be heat, depending on what the temperature is like there.
It's a
I
brand
think
new
they're in
machine with a lot of thermal food, so she should be fine.
Yeah, they're in Canada, I think, not California.
We never
Oh.
get hot here.
Can I live there? Please?
I mean, you can try. It's not exactly hard to get up here as long as you have any kind of skill set other than I want to live in Canada.
Janitorial.
Can that skill set also include I don't want to live in this goddamn country of the United States anymore?
I mean,
Does it
right now,
count?
yes. Right now, actually, yes.
I've got a horticulture certificate and degree.
You could probably get a job very quickly in Canada.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Everything's going to hell here.
You're literally on fire outside your door, Nova. Of course, everything's going to hell.
That's fine. Everything's fine. Anyway, what do you guys plan to do now?
Various would like to go back to the Foundry and immediately start heading towards Wind,
Okay. What is everyone else?
but that's his vote.
I'm
Yeah,
curious,
what is
is
going
there-
on?
What time of the day is it?
I would say it's about late afternoon now.
Okay.
Oh. Bradley. Bradley.
There we go. I was weird.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'd say it's about late afternoon. It's not quite night, but it's not very early either.
What do you suppose to do here, considering what time it is already?
Considering we've been walking for quite a bit, I would love to take a rest.
Well, the
Yes, you guys
rooms
can
I
tell me all about your stories. Write them all down.
well, I've of course still have the rooms prepared for you if you happen to use those.
I realized
And I'm sure I can prepare one for Flix here.
Sorry.
It's alright. And I'm sure I can prepare a room for Flix as well.
I think one night in the Fire Palace would be warranted. What do you think, Darius?
Alright. But I'm still parched.
Auntie's is... Which way is that place again?
Just...
I
Oh,
can take it.
yeah, Flix knows the way.
Joy.
They know the pathway to take. Just don't order anything. Just don't let her choose for you.
Understood. I mostly just want water.
And
No
that's
offense.
none taken. Just I find it mildly hilarious that someone would ask for water in the plane of fire. Bit of morbid humor.
Farius will speak up kind of quietly, like, is the staying here thing open for me too?
Leonard will look over at Trace. It's like, well, of course you're with all of them, right? You've been helping them.
She'll just nod. Just wanted to make sure.
Mm-hmm. But feel free to spend the rest of your night here if need be. You know where the rooms are. I'm sure you can show your friend Freus and Flix to them if need be. I'll have my scholars look over the carapace thing you brought in and see if we can discern from that. Perhaps we might have some more information for you once we're done with that. Or whatever it's made of and the like.
At least we'll be able to get ourselves a good night's sleep.
Yes, but first, Flix, you know the way to the tavern?
This way.
And he and Bellowa will start following Flix.
Okay. Where's everyone else up to, though?
I'm going to the bar.
Oh, okay. So do you all want to head there, or do you want to do something different?
Rose is going to go check out the barracks then, as Leonard pointed out.
So...
Just so he isn't alone, Brace will follow him, but beforehand she'll actually rip the 2 pages out of the pictures of the creature and offer them to Leonard, so...
Leonard will take those and kind of nod his head to you as he kind of sees you all off, and you kind of split ways. So what we'll do is I'm going to roll a 1d2, and we'll see which group goes first.
Oh no, we split the party.
You split the party. So we're going to go with Rose and Frias first. So you guys are going to head to the Barracks of Fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It doesn't take long to get there. It's connected to the Citadel itself. And you know the place really well already, Rose, so you're able to find the place rather easily. It's kind of an offshoot wing of the Citadel. There is a large mess hall in the center of it all, as well as bunked beds and rooms off to the side. There are a few people in here, mostly guards, and they definitely don't look like primordials. They have similar armor compared to what you found. Some of them are ornate, some are not. Most of them are what you would describe as angels, however. Some of them have wings that have been burnt, but most of them have white wings. There is one amongst them that seems to be larger than the rest, but they seem to be busy reading off in a corner.
On the way there, Rose will order Frias there. You seem to enjoy taking notes quite a bit, huh?
Oh, very. Is there anything you need to know?
There's been something I've been considering about... You know how you've been assuming the shapes of those creatures in combat?
She gives an affirmative nod.
It's got me thinking, even though I lack those types of abilities myself, made me wonder if I was able to start emulating the abilities of those others that I'm familiar with, like some of the native wildlife to the fire plane here.
She leans in. You want to learn about being able to wild shape, then, right?
No, that's your shtick. I mean, just
polymorph, and she's actually going to pull out a book and start flipping through, and she starts rambling off some random information.
There's not anything that changes the physical shape. I meant more of seeing the abilities that the creatures have here and being able to use those.
She'll close the book and put it in her backpack and be like, so trying to steal their abilities, you say?
Steal or else observe how they work then, and then perhaps through magical means be able to replicate them.
One moment. She'll give a nod and say, I've heard of such things, but I haven't really been able to research anything, we could probably ask Leonard for maybe a book. But for now, I can't personally train you in anything, but I can definitely look out for something.
Yeah, I guess I could run that by Leonard as well. I'm sure somewhere he's got a book buried. I don't know, he's up to like his 5th or 6th vault of books by now or something.
Oh, judging by that war room, he has to have at least something on some kind of magic. I'm sure even just a few keywords and we'd find basically the next step in acquiring what you need.
Well, for now, I'm gonna hopefully settle what I can find out here then. And then, as they arrive into the barracks proper then, does Rose recognize their leader among them?
You definitely would know that the larger the figures that is currently reading off in one corner with what looks to be a half-drink mug of ale in front of them is Metatron, the largest of them all. He has actually, instead of a single set of wings, he has 3. And he's definitely much larger than the rest. But he seems to just be idly reading from the looks of it and hasn't noticed you. A few of the other guards have noticed you, but no one's really paid you much mind. They're kind of doing their own thing.
Alright, Rose will stroll up over to Metatron there. You're the guard's leader Leonard mentioned, right?
They seem to reach out, kind of take the rather large mug before taking a drink from it and setting it down on the table. They're easily about twice your size, Rose. So they kind of look down at you as they fold the book and set it down on the table. It's like, and what do you need from me?
Rose brandishes the fire sword. Then you would recognize this then.
Yes, standard issue for most guards. What about it?
Show me how to use it.
They seem rather surprised. There is a mask kind of covering their eyes, so you can't really see them, but there is a slight twinge to their mouth that makes them kind of smile a little. It's like, really now? One of Leonard's disciples wants to learn from the guards. That's surprising.
Few things happen every day.
Indeed they do. I would thought of your lot to be a little too high and mighty for our gritty work.
Let's just say we've had to get our hands dirty recently, and I want to take every opportunity I can to be prepared.
Where did you find it, by the way?
You know that contingency that Leonard sent out into the wilds a couple weeks back?
More like a couple of months, but yes.
I want to know how to use this sword so I can make right by him.
I see. Well, my schedule currently at the moment doesn't allow for training, but if you come back in the morning, I might be able to slot you in for the morning training sessions.
Yeah, I can squeeze that in.
I think you can squeeze you in with a few of the new recruits. But just know that we start early before light even comes to the sky. But that should be no problem for a primordial such as you.
Alright.
He does kind of look in Fria's direction. Doesn't really say much before looking back.
Oh. She's with us then. I'll say this much, she ain't no scared of no firewolf, that's for sure.
The flame wolves, suppose that you've dealt with them before.
She'll actually speak up. I think they were actually dire wolves, judging by the size and structure. But yes, we've taken care of a few.
Oh, you have not seen the direwolves.
And she kind of like smiles a little bit, and she starts flipping through pages and crossing out stuff and rewriting.
Direwolves are about the size of me.
She looks right back up to him, not like in awe or anything, but like trying to estimate how tall he actually is to write down a number.
How tall is Rose again?
Rose would be like 5'8".
So this figure is more about in the 13 to 14 feet range. He big. He big.
2.5 roses.
Pretty much.
Everything is in
He
row now.
big. This boy a big boy.
Man,
Yeah,
that guy's
probably-
like 6 roses away.
And they're not very lit either. They're pretty well built.
Probably the most notable thing is Freya does not seem afraid or shocked. She just seems more excited at the news.
So would you say that they're 3 or 4 roses wide?
No. They're just... The armor definitely shapes their form. Let's just say that.
Gonna have to
The
measure
cap-
the width in tibs, maybe.
Probably in tips, yeah.
Honestly, I'm just happy to be included.
But typically the direwolves are much deeper in the wilderness. They hunt alone as well, and typically coming across one is a death sentence to most.
Starts flipping more pages to a fresh page and starts writing down furiously.
Just if you see a massive hulking beast out in the wilds, your best bet is to run. If it's not serpent-shaped, and if it's not wolf-shaped, you should be alright. But they're all also wild dragons, so... I mean, compared to the wilderness of same matter, fire's not as bad. As, well... He's kind of noted that you're writing all this down, Freya's, and kind of just chuckles a little bit at that.
She'll be silent for a little bit, but once she finishes her thought, she'll start nodding and say, thank you. This is... Yes. I'm just trying to document everything I can.
If you're looking for information on the plains, look for the Arcanum Infinium. It has most, if not all, the knowledge of things here, including our laws, practices, and the like. And it probably has several copies in the library.
She's going to look at Rose and be like, can we go on a detour before we get back?
Okay, no, seriously, what tour?
Can we go on a detour?
Oh, detour. Yeah, I suppose.
She's gonna close her book and thank them.
Yeah. All right. Well, see you bright and early.
Mm-hmm.
And what detour, pray tell, are you talking about?
I already forgot part of the name, but the Arcanum... Oh, jeez.
Arcanum Infinium.
Oh, okay. The fancy library that he was talking about.
Oh, it's a
Leonard's
book.
Nerd Room.
Oh, that's just a book.
Oh, it's just a singular book.
Mm-hmm.
A very heavy book, but a
Very
book.
heavy. It's probably a book that you could easily wield as a weapon.
Nice.
Something you can swing around your head with, like a mace with spikes. If anyone gets that
May break
reference.
my bones, but that book will kill me.
If anyone gets that reference.
Or you just carry it underhand and just start doing arm curls with it.
There's a reason mages in World of Warcraft are built.
But yeah, I think she'll just maybe force him to drag her there, and then she'll do at least a casual reading before realizing how late it actually is, and not knowing where anything is, following Rose wherever he was going next.
Well, considering that's taken care of, Rose is just gonna head for their room then.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Freya, so you're gonna head to the library?
She doesn't even know where her room would be, so she's probably just going to at least follow Rose back to try and
Okay.
self-map.
No problem. So with that, we'll switch to the other group. Oh my god, Buckhammer.
Yeah, it's literally just 2 books.
But we'll shift focus. Various, are you with Flix and Tibbs?
Yes.
Okay, so Flix, you know the way back to Auntie's tavern through the fire citadel. You know to go through a very specific door that somehow inexplicably connects the two between a strange room filled with very interesting looking people that usually don't pay you much mind. But you're able to lead them back. So let me switch you guys over there. Let me get some better music on. Is it this one? Nope, that's not the right one. Let me disconnect rhythm so I reset it. Let me get the sound I need. I gotta scroll all the way up. It's been a while since you've been here, so I need here we go. This one. There we go. And yeah, it's kind of the late afternoon. The tavern is pretty packed for the most part. There's, of course, primordials, there's fae, there's all manner of people here. They're kind of just chilling and relaxing in the tavern. It's pretty busy.
Sexiest one. Where is the sexiest one?
I mean,
that
unless
Nova
you
is
count,
thrown right off their chair.
I mean, unless you count your mentor.
I do.
Yeah,
Well,
Jericho's
married, I don't want his husband to kill me.
Jericho's often one of the booths. He's kind of with Florence, his bodyguard, and they seem to just be enjoying a bottle of wine between the two of them.
Who's the next best?
Hold on, let me roll something.
Just watch as the bar progressively lowers.
What I'm understanding is Flix is looking for Tens and ignores Tiberius, who is right beside him.
So one figure does kind of catch your eye. This figure in particular seems to be dressed in bright reds and golds as well as whites, but they seem to have a mask over their face and a rather large white brim hat with a feather in it, and their particular clothing seems to catch your attention right off the bat.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Same
yes.
person like me. It's perfect.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go
And
to the bar.
they're actually sitting at the bar. They're sitting at the bar talking to Auntie.
All right.
They're kind of, you know how someone will sit at the bar, they'll kind of have their back against it and kind of with their elbows propped up and kind of leaning back. That's how they're kind of doing it. They do have a really long cape too.
I love this person already. I'm gonna saddle up beside them and snap my fingers for Auntie to give that crazy drink that I 20'd last time. That could probably kill me this time.
Oh no.
I want 2 of them.
Auntie just kind of gives you a look. It's like, 2 of them? Really?
For me and my new friend here.
She kind of looks at the figure, looks back at Flix. It's like, okay. And she'll kind of go and start fixing the drink. And the figure kind of looks back at Auntie and then kind of looks back at you. Flix, let me actually get you a picture of this particular character.
I have a feeling I know it is.
So
How interesting. It's so random and crazy that you happen to have a character, this random NPC we found in the bar, Nova.
It's this lovely chap. It's in the OOC channel.
Yes.
I love him. He's perfect.
He does kind of reach up to take the hat off, and you see he's wearing a masquerade mask over the top half of his face. And you guess it
Love it.
definitely has a mask on the lower half, but kind of lifts it and kind of nods to you and saying, "Well, good evening. Might I ask why you're being so kind?"
You're a beautiful individual. I'm a beautiful individual. I think we should share a drink.
Well, I can hardly argue against that logic.
Damn skippy.
Yeah, Auntie's just working on fixing the drink. However, Various, as you approach, the figure does seem to lock eyes with you for a second, almost like it's analyzing you in a way, before kind of casually looking back to Flex.
Don't worry. That's my bun. He's with me.
Your friend's quite interesting. Got quite a look about him.
He's a terribly funny animal.
Wait a second, is Bellua actually lumbering behind them as well?
That's a
Probably.
good question, yeah.
He didn't quite dismiss Bellua.
Bellula is Truffles and sitting on Bellula's head.
Just perched between the antlers.
Exactly, all cuddled up.
Someone got real bored with the tinsel, just, yeah.
But as the being kind of looks back at you, Flex, Auntie will come back and she'll set two very tall rainbow glasses on the bar. And it's like, enjoy. And she'll kind of look at you, Various, and notice you. And it's like, and then also Tibbs, like, well, can I get you two anything?
Auntie, it's wonderful to hear your voice again. Yes, a bit of wine for myself and a bit of wine for
No,
Various
I'd
here.
like water.
Water and wine. And
Rainbow, it's so perfect.
Various is going to kind of prop himself on the bar and slip something onto the bar that I talked to you about with
Sure.
some coins.
She ignores the coins and will take the note and kind of open it up. Okay, let me get this straight. You want wine, and she looks at Various, and you just want water?
Yes, just water.
How big a glass?
A fairly big one, please.
All right. And she'll kind of pocket the note before she goes to start fixing your drinks. And yours is really simple, Various. She literally just gets out a chilled glass, a big pitcher, and just fills it up and sets it onto the bar for you. So you
Thank
got some
you.
chilled water. It's chilled.
Yay.
To Various, she looks back at you and is like, what kind do you want?
Something made of grape, please.
Well, that just narrows everything down.
Good grapes.
You see her kind of open up one cabinet and take out what looks to be a bottle of white-colored wine, or at least a kind of an off-green. It's in a fancy bottle with like gold trimming and stuff like that. And it's obviously been a little frosted, and she'll pop open the cork. It kind of fizzes for a bit, and definitely just been opened. And we'll pour you a glass and set it onto the counter.
Various will do his best to thank her in the most courteous way he can.
But the being will look back at you, Flex, and you kind of look at the drink for a few seconds, and you kind of take it, and it's like, well, thank you. I have to admit.
Most welcome.
He's actually going to down it in one go, and you don't even notice that he seems to open his mouth. It just seems to vanish into him, so.
I am so impressed. I must follow suit.
Yeah, he kind of barely passes the save. What was the...
What do I have to roll to not die?
Not a 1.
I think it's a con save.
It's a con save. It's con. Yeah, oh god. Flex, you've had this drink so many times, you just pound it back without any issue.
Part of my blood now.
You enjoy the different tastes of each of the different colors, all the fizziness to it all, the gentle burning on some of the parts, and just what a refreshing drink. You feel like you could have another, but maybe not.
talk him up to find out his tailor and where he gets his awesome clothes from.
On my clothes. He kind of sets the glass down and kind of gently tugs at his coat and it's like, oh, they're part of me.
Okay, so if they weren't part of you, where would you get them made?
That's a good question. There's a couple tailors I know, but I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. You're looking for something flashy, you're looking for something useful. Then you got, of course, price ranges. Each one's different. Just, don't trust the what's his face? Diaz. Don't get clothes from him. Damn things are half-time cursed.
Okay. Damn. Trust Diaz. Curse. Bad road.
Very often. But, curious how you got your own, though. You seem to be quite fashionable.
Well, yes, I'm an ambassador.
Ah, you're Jericho's pupil, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Mm.
He's right over there.
Oh, I know. He's been a little busy lately. He's been admittedly a little off. A little worried for him.
Sorry.
You're fine. But, the being will kind of look toward Jericho's direction. You can definitely tell from even here, Jericho's definitely has like bags under his eyes. He looks a little haggard right now. He seems to have been a bit of rough shape these past few weeks.
It's hard to be him. The troubles and the pain he goes through.
I'm sure that might be. Yeah, there might be something else under the surface, but I don't really like to pry. Tell me, what does the ambassador have with little old me? Like, why would you come up to me? What can I do you for?
I don't know how much time you got.
God, all eternity. I mean, as long as nothing kills me.
Like, are you looking for a money exchange or do you want to go to a back room?
He just stares at you for a few seconds. Excuse me, what?
Well, you just said that you do me, so I'm just asking what the price is.
I asked, what could I do for you?
Not what you said.
He looks very confused.
My work here is done.
I'm a primordial. We don't exactly swing that way.
Oh, right. No nether regions. Right. We're going to go find somebody with something.
Wait, what?
And he's going to turn around and leave.
He just looks very confused at this point. Auntie seems to be holding back chuckles at this. Astrov, I think they're also a little bit confused. But then again, you don't tend to talk in a straight line, so you may want to start doing that. And he kind of gives Auntie a bit of a glare.
Under his two masks?
What, masks? No, this is my face.
I think that was an OC question.
Primordial's weird.
No, yeah, that's his face.
So weird.
Various is eyeing Tibbs as they drink their water at the bar.
Mm-hmm. At this point, Astro's just looking very confused. Like, if you're looking for someone to kill someone, like, I'm not your guy. You may want to talk to my brother.
Who's feeling what now?
Who
I
is
mean,
who
wait.
is who is he talking to? Because nobody's talking to him.
He's talking to Flix.
Flix, I think, walked
I'm
away.
confused.
Oh, did Flix walk away? I didn't. If so, then you must have cut out because I didn't hear it.
Did Flix walk away, or
I think he stopped at this point because he's just confused now.
Yeah, they're kind of just staring at each other confused. Like, Astro's like, wait,
Yeah.
what?
They just confuse each other really easily.
Auntie is definitely finding some mild amusement out of this.
I'm gonna find Mia Fey now.
I mean, you do you, I guess?
Believe me, if I could, I would.
He just looks very confused now. Weird. He'll kind of just turn away from you, Flix, and then kind of looks at Auntie and shrugs. It's like,
Go back to the rabbit and find out what they're doing.
Mhm. And it looks like Tibbs is enjoying some nice white grape brine, and Various is chugging down some water.
They may not have started a bar fight. Who knows?
Who knows? The tavern is quite packed, but it's mostly primordials with a couple fae. But occasionally some people are filtering out, but it seems to just be a nice... It's actually surprisingly quiet tonight. Some people look a bit haggard and tired, because it's the end of the day. Various, though, you do notice that the being is occasionally watching you.
he catches one of these looks, and his ears sort of pin back a little bit, and he's like, "Yes."
I just happen to notice that you have a peculiar air about you.
You need to be more specific.
Oh, I can't really. Not here. You wouldn't happen to have come across anything unusual outside the normal around here, have you? You can tell he's obviously trying to be vague for a reason.
I mean, oh, he sort of looks down at his water, and he really wants to drink more of it, but slowly pushes it away because now he's afraid that Tibbs messed with it somehow. And depends.
Something of a more opposing nature to something more light, I'd say.
His ears pluck up for a moment and then sort of pin back.
You see the figure kind of stand up for a few seconds, and he'll look back at you before setting something onto the counter that Auntie very quickly scoops up. You can't really get a good sight of it. But then they'll look back at you. It's like, when you have the chance, head up. I'm sure I'm sure there's a room you've are well aware of, especially since you've been working with Leonard, haven't you? Come find me in there. Come find me in there. Until I actually start walking off. Oh.
Wax.
That's a whisper.
Yeah, the inside was pretty solid, but he didn't really acknowledge you, Tibbs, because he was more focused on Various.
No, he's whispering to Various, being like, "You dolt! This is what he's talking about," as if he thinks that Various has missed completely.
I'm a little weird. Why do I imagine Flix just sitting in the back, sort of being like, but.
Also, when it comes down to Auntie, she seems legitimate. She doesn't know.
You enjoy your wine. I've got something.
Oh, I plan on it. Enjoy your night. Remember, early to rise.
Oh my god. Flix, are you staying with Tibbs?
Yeah, I'll stay with you.
No.
They're staying with Tibbs, whether Tibbs wants it or not.
Still arguing, I see. You two haven't changed.
Not arguing. We're having respective differences.
Still arguing.
No.
Or foreplay.
Sometimes.
Whoops. That was not supposed to be a quotation mark. My brain
That's
decided
okay. You're
2
fine.
dots.
I mean, yeah, you don't really need to worry about a stealth check. He knows you're following. But they'll go to the room that you've come through a few times before, and we'll kind of open it, briefly look back at you before walking in.
He's really wishing that he had like arcane or mage armor or whatever it is in 5e. Flix, why?
Oh my god, Flix.
He's the bard stereotype.
He's the bard from the Gamers 2.
I'm not saying anything because I think everything has already been said.
But
As long as he's not the bard from One for All.
So
That too. Yeah, he is.
I know he is.
So Various will trail after him.
and the being's already entered the room. So do you go in after him?
Yep, he's uneasy, but at the same time, these are also people who they've done things for them before, and they seem to be friends with Leonard. So
as you enter the room, the door actually will close behind you.
Oh.
And you turn around and the figure that you had followed in here is across the room at the table, kind of about to sit down, but the figure behind you that closed the door is someone almost of a completely different color palette.
Oh, yay!
They are wearing deep greens, blacks, and sort of a light off-green coloration, but unlike the mask of the one you followed in here, this one seems to be that of a plague doctor. Kind of like a bird-like mask with goggles.
Hi, Zenith!
Hi, Zenith!
It's fine! It's fine!
And they kind of look down at you and it's like, please, sit down.
He does not feel great about this, but there's not much he can do.
I love the chat. Bird dad!
And meanwhile, did Bellowa get locked out?
Yes.
Oh, yay.
Like the moment Various entered, the door was closed.
We could talk civilly, without the entrapment.
We have to make sure that only you are here. Also, it's alerted me that you're, let's just say, there's a bit of an air about you, similar to my element.
Can I make an intelligence check, or?
Sure.
To just make sure that gets across?
Yeah. Not quite. You're kind of sitting there. It's like, what do you mean your element? Like, what? You're kind of a little lost on the fact because you're still a little disturbed by the fact that you've essentially been locked in with these two. One looks bright and cheerful and approachable. The other one looks kind of terrifying.
You'll have to be more specific.
Well, there's a reason why I closed the door now, isn't it? I'm talking about the elements of negative.
What do you people want with it?
I am a negative primordial, little one. I am Zenith.
Oh, thank the moons.
Mhm.
Do you know how discreet I've been trying to be in asking around?
Well, how do you think we feel having to live this existence? Regardless, tell me why you seem to have the aura of negative about you. It's
Do
quite
you
curious.
know? It's a very long story.
Please sit down then and tell us.
Oh, boy.
Don't worry, we won't hurt you. We have no plans or needs for that.
So many people say that. And he goes and takes a seat.
It's a nice kind of seat. It's got a cushiony bottom to it and kind of a high back rise. Asher was kind of leaning back and kind of watching the whole exchange. Zenith, on the other hand, is remaining standing, kind of with his hands behind his back as he walks around and kind of watches Various carefully.
He's still very uneasy and looks a little bit like if there was a way to bolt, he would.
There are a few side rooms. You can definitely hear the sounds of animals coming from one of them. The other one seems to be a study of sorts with a lot of beds in it. And of course, there is the door to the fire plane that you know, but it's currently closed.
He's still eyeing that door, but he'll, for the sake of time, he'll talk about the strange, that he found a ring at the curse shop and inadvertently grabbed it.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, when he finally translated it, like the writing along the edge of it, and and talk about what he saw within and see if that gets a reaction.
Zenith seems quiet for several moments as he seems to be processing all of this before he kind of holds a hand out. May I see it?
Yes. As long as it's not going to be harmed.
No, I would not harm one of my own.
He reaches down and at least attempts to take the ring off.
It comes off incredibly easily. There's nothing holding it on.
And he hesitantly hands it over.
And Zenith will kind of gently take it out of Ares' hand, almost cradling it for a few moments. You can definitely tell the air and his expression have changed. What was a more serious, scrutinizing look seems to have softened. I'm going to be honest, we thought him for dead. Though, I'm afraid something like this is beyond what I'm capable of breaking. I am not a lord in my own right, neither Astro and I are. But the fact that he's been imprisoned here all this time, under our noses.
You may want to ask that Diaz character where he got this.
Astro will shake his head. It's like, not wise. Not wise at all. That thing is way beyond whatever lurks here, and I'm honestly not surprised something like that fell into his greedy claws. I wouldn't be surprised if the guild tried to pawn it off and try to get it out of the plains so someone else could abuse it. It's a good thing you found it, though probably don't mention it to the fox bastard.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, he doesn't take kindly to people stealing.
In my defense, it wasn't quite of my senses or volition.
To him, theft is theft.
Very
Zenith will shake
well.
his head. It's like he'll shake his head and kind of gently hand the ring back to Various. It's like the most we can do is find someone capable of breaking magical prisons, someone with a deep understanding of binding magic, which I'm afraid we don't know anyone. So we'd have to track down a scholar that specializes in this sort of thing. And we have a lot of resources at our disposal, but nothing like this. And you said they claimed it was the guild that did this, right?
Yes. And
That
I will
means
say that we were on our way to see a scholar who supposedly knew something about this.
there's a pause as the two kind of look at each other and then look back at Various. It's like, is he talking about who I think? I don't know. I didn't think that was kind of his forte. I thought it was more in the. It couldn't hurt. Zenith will kind of look back at you, Various. It's like, I'd say follow that. If you find anything, please feel free to come back and tell us. Just don't tell anyone about us. We're trying to keep quiet for a reason.
Well, it'll be easier now that I know where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I am sorry for shutting you in the room like this, but we have to make sure that we can A, trust whoever comes in here, and B, ensure our own safety. I hope you understand.
it's fine.
There's many, many people in this world that are more willing to kill us than give us a chance to talk.
He can likely tell you something about something we encountered.
Encountered? What do you mean?
I made a promise to Leonard not to spread things around. But he didn't make that promise.
Zenith will look at Astra. It's like, well, I suppose it's time for you to talk with Leonard a little bit now, wouldn't it be? And you kind of see Astra kind of reel his head back. It's like, oh, come on. I'm tired.
But Dad!
And so it just kind of gives him a scolding look. It's like, I don't care if you're tired. This is an issue of life or death of one of our own children. Fine. And you kind of see Astra get up from his chair and kind of just almost begrudgingly tuck it in. It's like, you owe me for this one, though. Next time you're talking to him.
Oh, so he does know about you.
They both pause and look at Various. Wait, what?
It was a not so discreet member of our party asked if he knew about Negative, and he very vehemently said no, he had no idea.
I mean, can you blame the guy?
No.
Yeah, it's nothing against you or whoever you travel with. It's just we kind of have to stay under the radar. until we fix our problems.
I am going to gloat, though, to said party member that no, I was not being taken advantage.
I'm not there. You can't prove anything.
But will he be staying with you, or should he come with me in case the person needs to take a look at the actual binding?
Zenith will kind of gently hand the ring back to you, Various. It's like, at this point, it's better if you take him with him. If you take him with you. That way, whoever you find can look at the prison and perhaps be able to do something about it. And, well, if you're able to use some of his power, which I have no doubt that he would be happy for you to use to make sure that this gets done. Just be careful.
He slips the ring back on and nods, starting to get up. Now am I free to go?
Of course. Zenith will head over to the door and just open it for you. Astro was already headed out the other door into the plane of fire, and you kind of hear the door slam behind him, like a pouty kid.
And Bella was outside the tavern side door, pacing back and forth.
And Zenith kind of looks up. It's like, calm down, big one. He's fine. It's like almost you could tell the emotion Bellio was dealing with, just at a glance. Which is a little odd if you want to try to roll an intelligence check.
Dun, 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 dun. Nope. Nope.
It hasn't appeared for me yet. Hold on.
It's a nat 1. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, no. Yeah, you kind of just don't really notice it. You're more worried about the fact that Belly was just sort of pacing there like a dog that was wondering where you were at. Also, Tiz, Auntie has set one pastry in front of you in particular. It's a little off in color, but I'm sure it's fine.
Flix just ate it.
No, this one's for you specifically.
Oh, okay.
That's just from the snozzberry.
Oh, it's okay.
It's like apples are green, right? Yeah. So if you want to roll a perception, if you want to make sure anything's wrong with it. If not, well, it's up to you.
Well, there's a reason he asked for 5. He was going to pocket one for Various.
Oh. Is he going to pocket the strange-looking one?
Oh, no.
Or is he going to eat it?
He's going to eat it.
Roll me a 1d20, please.
Oh, no.
It tastes good. It tastes like an apple pastry. Okay.
Is it from an orchard that's been hit by wild magic?
That's... Oh, lordy. So, Tips, as you kind of eat down this pastry, you realize it tastes pretty apple-y. It's a pretty apple-y apple tart. And then you look up and you suddenly notice that there's a pink elephant staring at you.
Oh,
What's an
no.
elephant? What is an elephant?
It's just sitting there staring at you from the stairwell. And no one seems to notice it.
I remember this effect.
Flix,
Yes?
do you see that pink thing?
You don't.
I hold Truffles up to him. Truffles is pink.
No. Pardon me, I have to go and investigate this.
So are you going to get up and walk toward it?
Gonna try.
As you do so, every time you take a step, it takes a step backwards. Keeping the exact same distance between you and it. Never breaking eye contact.
Tyrese is going to slowly get back on the stool and turn around, trying to face away from the elephant.
You turn around. You actually see the elephant move with your vision, so it stays in front of your vision the entire time, even if it looks like it's clipping through the wall. This effect's going to last for the next hour. You're always going to see a pink elephant at exactly 20 feet in front of you for the next hour.
Ah. How interesting. Auntie, could I have another?
Auntie just has a wide grin on her face. It's like, sure.
Meanwhile, Various is starting to come back.
And she'll set another one down on the counter for you.
Hello.
Yeah, you're back. Here, I kept this for you.
He looks at it.
It's quite happily.
It looks like a normal tart, but the inside, the filling looks very, very, very green. And actually, Various, looking at Tibbs, his eyes are white as dinner plates, like his eyes are dilated. So I'd say, since you see that, do an advantage roll on that one, since you see his eyes. Okay, you're able to tell that something's not right about this, and you kind of are not sure if, like, did he eat one too? Is that why his eyes are all weirded out?
Have you been hitting the pixie dust again?
That was one time. I assure you, I most certainly am not. However, this pink thing is quite annoying.
Pink thing?
There's nothing. You can't see any pink. You don't see anything pink.
Yes. Wherever I look, it seems to be there. Watching me.
He's gonna set down the pastry.
Like, when cats like see something and they want to go after it, how their pupils dilate so wide. That's Tips right now.
Does that mean that his racial skill is like active for the next hour?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Everything is just punny eyes.
So for people who don't know on the stream, Gardanians, or at least Hopaletians, have something called big bunny eyes. So imagine the cat from Shrek.
Mm-hmm. Puss in Boots. It's Puss in Boots.
So let's see. He's going to look over at Auntie.
Mm-hmm.
Then back at Tibbs.
She has this cheeky look on her face.
Maybe you should get some sleep.
I can't do that. It will kill me.
Right. Anyway. Auntie, what did he have?
Just a little pastry. It's perfectly fine. He should be just fine.
Yes, he looks just fine.
You can insight check her if you want.
No. He's just like,
Yeah, she's just got this big smile on her face. She just can't tell if she's lying or not. It definitely seems. I mean, you can kind of get the idea she's messing with Tibbs, but it's innocent enough.
Auntie, I am curious about something.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you happen to know where I could find a good smith?
Depends on what you're looking to have smithed.
A weapon?
There's quite a few here in the Foundry. Some of the best ones are in Earth and Fire, though. Well, what kind of weapon you looking for? Are you looking for something with more finesse? You thinking something big? Looking for something that smashes or cuts?
The first.
So something small. I say with something a bit more delicate, I'd say probably try wind. They make all kinds of daggers, sickles, knives, that kind of thing.
Well, wouldn't you know?
Though I better warn you, they tend to prefer the fact that you supply the materials yourself. That way you take some of the work on your own as well. So you might need some ore, you might need some wood, that kind of thing.
Perfectly understandable.
That tends to be how most smiths work. You have to supply your own materials, so that way you take out at least half of the legwork. It's kind of how the whole deal works.
I do have one last question. Could I have some water for the road?
You bet, hun. What kind of bottle do you want it in? You want something with a screw top? You want something that's a cork? We got a couple things.
Something that I can open and close.
Okay. And she'll kind of sift around and kind of take out this, it looks to be a glass bottle with a cork in the top, but it's more of a screw cork. And she'll start filling it with water for you.
Thank you.
And then she'll screw the cork in, slide it over to you. It's like, anytime you need some more water, go ahead and bring it on in and I'll refill it for you. I mean, water's free. Yeah, it's still stirring, Tibbs. It's not even blinking.
Two can play that game.
Flicks?
Yes?
Maybe we should get him back. Are you done here?
Yeah, for now. Are his eyes supposed to be that big?
I have to keep them open. So long as I keep eye contact with it, it can't get closer.
He's been...
What are you looking at?
I have a feeling he hit some of the magical dust.
He's right here.
No, it doesn't have the long nose.
What? Okay, it's time for sleepy sleeps for you.
I assure you, I'm not tired.
Muck.
Get me down. Unhand me.
Let's head back.
And the funny thing is as you kind of picked up, you definitely see, like, you kind of lift your head a little bit, and the elephant continues to kind of stay in the center of your vision, even though it's in the ceiling.
Like fireman style when you're carrying a child to bed.
It's in the ceiling.
Yes, they're all in the ceiling.
Wait, there's more than one?
Time for bed there, Tibsy Wibsy.
So, I'm thinking that we're heading our way back?
It looks like it.
Come, Various.
Sorry for taking so long.
It's okay. You're fine. But as you guys head back to the Plane of Fire, back to the Leonard Citadel, you do pass through the room that you had been in, that you had come through, which you went into earlier, Varys. And no one's really in there aside from Zenith, who seems to be poring over several books in another room. Like, he's got like 5 or 6 of them open. Doesn't acknowledge you going through, though.
So we're gonna keep on going.
Yeah, and he keeps at the exact same distance no matter what. Always watching.
Even when you close your eyes.
Yeah, even if you close your eyes, you see the elephant in the blackness, staring. You can't escape it. But yeah, you guys managed to make it back to the fire citadel into the halls, while Tibbs yells at Cloud. Angry Bunny yells at Elephant.
So, are we going to end up meeting back up with Rose and Frias?
If you head back to the rooms, I would say that you'd probably reach there about the same time as they do. So y'all kind of meet up back in the hall. And Rose and Frias, you do see Flix kind of dragging Tiberius as he's screaming at seemingly nothing. His eyes are like dilated to the extreme.
Marius, hold me back. I'm going to kill this thing.
I thought you were going to get drinks.
We
He had a
did.
pastry.
Yeah.
Pastry.
Just what were you all up to?
Getting drinks. Shall we go into the room?
That's the part that scares me.
Oh my god! Roll wild magic if you do, or if you want to stop, or if anyone wants to try to stop him.
Frias will try to stop this.
How do you want to stop it?
She's literally just going to... I don't know how Flix is carrying him, but she will try to just literally pull his arms straight to the... like, straight out, like... pretty much T-posing him.
Yeah, he's basically over the shoulder, so he's kind of just... kind of imagine Flix carrying him, and he's kind of hung over Flix's shoulder, so you kind of see him start doing stuff with his hands.
She will just pull his arms from his wrists, pull straight out so that he can't make his hands any closer to the other ones. And she's like, nope, nope, no, no.
Let go, damn you! It has to die!
What
Well,
did he drink?
Let's have some fun here. Where did it go? Ah, there it is.
Now, Various, did you keep the pastry on hand, or did you put that away?
He put that back on the counter as soon as he saw that.
Smart. Smart boy. Okay, yeah. So let's... Tibbs needs to make a wisdom save.
15.
Oh no.
Oh, he succeeds!
Oh no!
Oh no.
Tibbs, you feel like someone's trying to start taking control of your mind, and you immediately have flashbacks of your mother doing the same thing. And so
as
It was
remember
sent by
when I
mother!
told you,
It must die!
at least he thinks it's the elephant.
no, he knows it was Frias. That's how the spell works. In fact, you actually look at Frias after they failed to cast the charm over you, and you see the elephant right behind them. They must be it must be a conspiracy.
So, you're working with the pink thing, aren't you? You're both pink. Makes sense.
Her mouth is just open, like confused. She looks over at Various and just mouths, help?
Tiberius.
Mm.
Tiberius.
He's not making eye contact from the elephant. Various. I'm busy.
It's not real.
It's right there.
You know illusions better than anyone.
Mm. Why does it keep staring at me?
I got this. Tibbs, I suggest you just close your eyes.
It's still there when I close my eyes. I still see it.
Make another roll.
Would Various be able to sense this magic?
No. Nope. It's just an effect of eating something made by the Fae.
Uh,
Rose, what is the
what
mod?
is my DC? Da-da-da.
Yeah, what's your DC?
It's at the top of spells.
Oh, it's a 14.
Oh, he beat it. He matched it.
Oh no.
The pastry has empowered tips.
No, the fear of the elephant shanking him in his sleep like the assassins before is what's making him not get affected by this.
Oh, yeah. You try to suggest him to try to calm down or something like that, but it doesn't work. In fact, he still continues his rambling.
Flix, maybe it's best if you help him get him to bed.
Yeah, he looks tired.
He looks possessed is what he looks like.
Yes, tired. It's all the same.
Is it? Is it really?
Probably.
So, Various is gonna go and try to help at least help him settle down.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you're able to kind of pull him into bed. But no matter what you do, Tibbs, you still see it.
Okay, I'm gonna fix this.
Actually, do me a perception before that.
Oh no.
He's gonna hate all of you.
He
He's
has to
gonna
fail
go on
one
a-
of them.
Go ahead and roll the 5d8, and we'll see if that affects him at all. What is his health at right now?
I have a special amulet.
Oh.
That's right. He's got. Oh, maybe this will be your turn. Their turn to learn what he's got. So go ahead and roll the 5d8 for the spell. See if it affects him or not.
How do I do that?
Just
Alright,
do /R and then 5d8. Nope, nowhere close. In fact, as you try to cast your sleep magic over him, he just seems to become more wired and awake. And it's like nowhere near his health, dear God.
and he will not blink unless he absolutely has to make his eyes moisturized.
Yeah, his eyes are just wide open. They haven't blinked since you guys left the tavern.
I'll keep an eye on him. You all do as you need to do. It should
Yeah.
wear off eventually, right?
You don't know that.
He's like hoping. He's hopeful. He doesn't think Auntie would do something permanent.
No. She's not malicious. She's just mischievous.
I think right now it's probably best that we just try to calm him down as much as possible. You three, go ahead. I will keep an eye on him.
Alrighty.
Freya will give a nod and say, my room's over there if you need any assistance.
I'm
Understood.
gonna take note of where his room is.
Oh no.
But Rose, what are you doing right now as you're kind of watching this madness take place?
Rose, after Various says that he's gonna watch over Tibbs, like, yeah, you do that. I'm just going to go get some peace and quiet, and we'll start heading back towards their room.
Okay. And what is everyone else doing for the rest of the night? Tibbs, it does eventually wear off, but it takes like an hour to do so. So for a good solid like 40 minutes, you're sitting there in bed staring at the ceiling as this elephant stares back at you, and it eventually slowly fades into nothing.
Flicks.
Oh, 1 second.
Brainius. Oh, no worries.
Dog had peed.
What'd I miss?
The elephant took about 40 minutes, but it's now gone. It kind of fades slowly out of your view eventually.
Show it. Some help you were various.
Are you doing better?
My eyes are very dry.
Maybe
So tell me,
should've-
you said you had a bad dream. What was yours about?
I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
Oh, assassinations. The normal. Just more vivid.
Specifics.
It had to do with me mum.
Understood.
And yours?
My sister.
Ah.
What gets me is that it feels like something was said and I just could not hear it.
Perhaps that was a kindness.
Maybe.
But we've agreed that was nothing but dreams caused by a nightmarish spell. That's all.
Doesn't strike me as that.
Me neither. Be careful, please. I'd rather you not die before I get to kill you.
I suppose similar.
Well, I expect if anyone's going to kill me, it's going to be you. I'd be rather insulted if someone else were able to do it.
Well, judging from how things work here, you might be able to express your insult afterwards.
Come again?
Don't you remember what they told us?
The whole dying part and coming back?
Yes.
I kind of like being alive, though. Dying just doesn't seem to be the thing I do.
Yes. And I'm judging from all the binding and magical sorts of things that they seem prone to, at least back home.
Speaking of which, did Freya's try to charm me?
You were sort of... Oh, right. Sorry. Did they?
I mean, if she was trying, she could have done something a little bit better than magic. Loosen a strap, things like that.
I mean, it did seem that they used magic when Naira was panicking, so maybe it's a gut reaction.
So the race might be able to do that. Possibly due to the smell or something. It's So long as it's not their voice. Alright, well, the strange pink thing is gone, so I think I can get some rest. You yourself, take care. Don't eat Auntie's pastries.
Oh, I set that down as soon as I saw the look on your face.
My face looked different?
Your eyes were as big as your ears.
Not sure whether to be insulted or impressed.
Rest well.
You as well.
So what are Flix and Frias up to? Frias
I was
is-
actually about to get to them because Varys, as you exit the room, you see what looks to be a robed figure that's wearing kind of black looking clothing that looks almost like a lab coat almost. Their hair is made out of green flames. It's kind of tied back into very kind of a bun shape. And they seem to be looking around, but then they notice you and it's like they're holding papers in their hands like, excuse me, is there a Miss Frias around?
Yes, their room is right there. They motion to
Thank
the
you.
door.
And they quickly leave and kind of go to Frias's door and knock on it.
It'll take a second, but she goes over and opens the door a little bit, and she looks a little confused and goes,
Hello, I have the results from the thing Leonard had us look over, and it's a majority of the structure was desecrated bone and body ash, and there was an unknown material that even we couldn't identify inside of it. He kind of hands you the papers. It has a lot of notes about the composition of the carapace, the structure. Apparently, it was actually hollow from what looks to be the writing. But it looks like the writing on it says about 90% charred bone and flesh pulverized into dust to create it. And there seem to be a couple other percentages of burnt carbon, apparently bits of what seemed to be fresh bone was also included, but there was 1% that is just unknown.
she's going to quickly read it over and give a few nods, and she's going to be like, we do have we actually have a sample of some of the creatures, well, innards, but they are currently, she's going to look out and see Various and kind of like does a little shout like, is he okay now?
Yes.
Is he mad at me?
I think he understands that it was with decent intent.
Could I ask you to try to get that vial of whatever the creature he pulled up was? I don't remember if it was from a different creature or the one we fought. I remember someone getting a sample of something.
Very well. He pats himself down, probably still has his pack with him, and eventually pulls out the vial and holds it out, though he's eyeing this stranger very warily.
They look to be just a simple, kind of dressed like a scientist almost. They seem a little timid. They definitely seem a little young. They don't have any ears. They actually don't have any eyes either, though. But they seem to have glasses on their face that seem to hide that portion of their face.
Bryce will actually like notice this and go, "Oh, he's with Leonard. He was researching the carapace that I brought back with us, from the creature." And then she'll actually like walk over and start showing him notes and like trying to talk basically through what they wrote.
I mean, I'm part of a team, but we came across a bit of a breakthrough and thought we would let the discoverer, the person who brought the materials in, know of our progress. I mean, I'm hardly the one that works on. I'm just the intern.
Can I do an insight check?
Sure. He's not trying to be deceptive, but yeah, he seems pretty legit. He's not trying to be deceptive. He's just nervous.
All right. So he'll hand the the vial out to Frias.
Mhm. And
She'll,
they
like,
seem almost enamored with the vial, like, what in Leonard's name?
Frace will actually look at like the liquid in the bottle, like give it a little shake and everything
Kind of
before
has the same consistency as mercury, but it's like neon green in color.
she'll just look at it for a bit, think, and then hand it over and be like, was this from the creature we fought, or was this from something else?
One of
I-
the previous creatures.
Well, it might have the same composition, so if you want to look at that, see if that'll bring any new results, and I would greatly adore if you bring back whatever you find out more about this.
And they kind of take it gently, almost. In fact, before they take it, they kind of take a tissue from looks like out of their pocket to kind of gently wrap around the vial to make sure nothing happens to it. Before then setting it into a little case, it's like, I'll get this and analyzed right away. I don't know about the compound, but we're going to let you rest for the night, so I'll bring you the information in the morning.
She'll nod. She'll at least hand the papers back to him because
Oh no, those are copies for you.
she just smiles and all four eyes go wide.
I
She looks at the paperwork and just starts heading, thanks him again, and just starts straight for her room.
Interesting friend you have there. I better get back to work. And he kind of shuffles past you, Darius. Flix, what are you doing?
I think at this point, we're just gonna go and get some rest now that
Mm-hmm.
day is coming to an end, and the buns are safe.
Gotta check on the buns.
Gotta protect those buns.
They keep an eye on all sorts of buns.
I mean, Flix's favorite things is buns.
This is true.
Edible buns, bunny rabbit buns, other
Other
buns.
That was creepy.
But we're actually going to kind of use this wind down time to kind of end it here, as everyone's kind of winding down and getting their rest for the night. Rose, of course, you're going to have an early morning with the guards, so you're definitely going to be waking up before everyone else, long before everyone else. And of course, Flix, you're getting treated to the royal treatment in a nice, big, cushy room, pretty much free reign of the whole place to kind of explore and do what you want. Tibbs is doing Tibbs things in his room, and I'm not going to spoil that because he gave it to me in private message. There's probably going to be a broken mirror in his room now.
It happens.
It's just going to be completely shattered to pieces. Various, you're going to have a nice peaceful night, I'd say. You have some confidence boosting you, like you have a path to set on. You know possibly a way to help Pride out, and you know that you have some allies now, at least with negative and positive. You know where they are now. You have a base. And
Not like that'll be useful later on.
And Freas, you've got some more information coming into you in the morning, especially with the carapace and the liquid. So you have some more notes coming your way. So that's a nice little feeling that you have more information coming to you that you previously did not know about.
Nice.
But for that, we will be leaving off this session. So thank you all for playing and enduring madness. Also, Flix has returned to the party. This will not be the last time we see Naira. There are plans for her. She might appear in the future.
Important
I'm sure it'll
question,
be.
Does Tiberius sleep well after his activities?
I'd say yeah, he sleeps pretty good.
Perfect. It was worth it.
But yeah, I think that's we'll be ending today. I need to go rest because I'm tired and the smoke has been. It does things to you.
Secondhand smoke's a killer.
It is. Oh, it is. But thanks all for playing, guys. I'm gonna head on off for now, so you have a nice
Okay.
night. If you have questions or anything, please bring them up in DMs. I'll answer them if I can. So-
Here's one thing. Should the off the clock be set in the morning?
I'd say go crazy. For the off the clock stuff, feel free to roleplay the morning, even Rose, because for the most part, you're just going to be out in the field training with the guard. It's going to be pretty standard.
Mm-hmm.
So feel free to go into off the clock and roleplay if you'd like. I will say that there will be breakfast served for you in the dining hall as well. So Leonard will have that set up for you.
Continental breakfast.
Pretty much. Like you're being treated to the Lord's treatment here, so have fun with that. Though, as a pre-warning, a lot of Leonard's favorite foods for the morning tend to be sweet things. So be prepared for that. Because he is a nerd, he needs his high sugar intake.
I love me breakfast donuts.
Oh yeah, there's probably breakfast donut sandwiches. Are you kidding? This is Leonard we're talking about.
Just hope I don't fall into them this time.
But all right, I'm heading off. Thank you for playing, guys, and thank you for enduring me. Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Best of health.